Okay, let's quickly display the companies and their related departments under this role. So when we select our role, so we will want to select the companies and their selected specified departments. So, okay, let's create div class farm group and with ID accessibilities, and under this we required a label and label plus we required a div with class column small 10, and in this div we required a label plus a input field and in this input field plus we required a UL, and in that UL we required a LI. Okay, let's explore this. Okay, so div class farm group and the ID is accessibilities. Okay, label will be permissions and permission, and class will be column small 2, and farm control label. So div class small 12, and in that label this input should be inside that label. Let's do it inside that label, and this label is blank. So UL and LI, and in that LI we required label, and that label we required input. So save it. Okay, so we now getting the companies from our controller. Companies, all the companies where user is this, so we will display the company first. So if we use a count companies, if count companies is 2 or greater than 0, okay, if there is a company's count true, so you can also use a 0, and we will use a for each. We say for each companies as company, and after that under this UL we will end our if and if, and also no, first we have to end for each and for each and end if. save it. Okay, in a input, here is the input. Let me sidebar. To remove this sidebar, Control Shift P and select sidebar. It will remove it. So input, and here we will break. So input type will be checkbox. Checkbox, and the value of this company name will be company ID. And here we will show the company name. Let's add some space and NBSP. Okay, the name of the input will be access, and access we will set the array, and in array we will display the all the company name, company ID, sorry, not name, company ID. Okay, let's save it and let's check to our browser, refresh. So here we have company online Rana and a font tech. We are displaying input into this. It will be permissions, and it will the company name, and it will the checkbox. So something is wrong. Companies, for each company as company label, input type. We have two type, checkbox and text. That's why. So remove this one, type checkbox. Value is company ID. Name is access, and we are giving an array company ID. Okay, save it, refresh. So we have a checkbox. Okay, and in a checkbox we are giving the list item of the all. Here we will show all the departments. So if because we have used an array, let's control U and see our code. So first one is the in an access one, we have given an array. So here is the company ID 1, and in access 2 we have a company ID 2. That's why we have using an array, because we have a list of companies. So we need to give the array, and we will need to give them because index. So at index 1, this is index 1, in our array we have a company online Rana, and index 2 we have a font tag. So that's why we are using an array. Okay, come to our code. So before UL, Now we need to get our categories. So we will find it if count, and in a count, so we will give the our model category, which is under app, and app category. So in the category we have a method where user, and here we give the company ID to that user. So company ID. So in a category C, we have a category model. So where we are giving the company default, we have set company ID null. Now we are giving the company ID is in our user layout. So company ID. So category where user company ID. This company ID comes through this company that we are accessing our company. So we are providing the company ID. So if the company ID, so if the company ID is not null, so this statement become false, and this statement, this string, this become false, and this become true. And here is the company ID is 1 or 2. So it will set this company ID to this one, and this one become this company ID, and this company ID will select all the from our categories table. So hope so it makes sense, and you are on the same line, on the same page. So save it. Okay. In a UL, let's style our UL where we'll show our department or category. So style, display style, list style, none. We are not using any style. So dots or circle, or and the ID of this UL will be checkbox, uh, checkbox underscore the company ID. Company ID. Okay, this UL which ID is checkbox, and we are giving a custom ID checkbox underscore the company ID. When we use AJAX, we will access this check ID. Okay, in a list item, we have a label and input type, and input type, default input type will be checkbox. Checkbox, and the value value we will give the company category ID. So category ID. Let me pull the company first. So let's iterate our category. For each and in a for each we will get our full absolute path of category model. So category model where user this company, where user company ID, where user company ID, this company ID that we are guessing from above. So company ID and so we will use as category. So find from the category model where company ID is this, and when it is you find, then we will use as, because it will be the array and we will use as a single, so as category. So save it, and let's end this for each. After this ULI and for each, and here okay, list item, and in this list we have a label, input type, checkbox, value is the category ID. Now this category ID, and in a label, under this label we use show to NBSP space, and then we'll iterate our company name, category name. So category name. So save it, and the name of this field, input field name, will be the access, same as we have used in a company, and we have to now give the double array. The first array will be the company ID, and let's print the company ID first. Company ID, and the second array will be blank, and it will the category ID here. Okay, save it. I think we did it, and let's check in our browser. Refresh. So parts are syntax unexpected and for each. Where it is, and for each in a view. Here. Double E. Save it. Refresh. So and for each, syntax error. So and for each, and for each, and let's find, we are enclosing if, and if, for each, and for each, if we are not ending this if, let's end this and if, and we are ending for each and for each. So save it, and let's refresh. So see, we are now successfully show the country, company and its departments. So in online Rana, there are 3 departments. So if a font tech, there are no department. So we are approximately to near to our creating, showing the ACL and designating the ACL. So I'll see you in the next video. Stay tuned.